Mr. Caesar Ingersoll, a grad student in the Faculty of Science and former member of the SFU choir, will lead us in the singing of O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Please be seated. I declare the October 2010 Convocation assembled for the granting of degrees. Mr. President, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty, honored guests, graduates, and friends, my name is Brant Louie, and I am the Chancellor of this university. This is our 45th annual Convocation, and we are delighted and honored to have in attendance today a number of distinguished guests on the platform and in the audience. A very special welcome is given to Mr. Bill Sixay, MP for Burnaby Douglas. Welcome to you all. Convocation is a proud academic tradition that honors an important moment of transition and new beginnings. It acknowledges your efforts and celebrates your achievements. It is an important milestone that marks both an ending and a beginning. This year, our graduates and the university that has shaped your learning have something in common. Both of you are at similar thresholds and an exciting new beginning. For SFU, it's the start of a new chapter of leadership as we welcome Andrew Petter, who officially took office as our 9th president and vice chancellor. Andrew is uniquely qualified to take up the mantle of leadership, having achieved academic excellence as a scholar and teacher, as well as having an outstanding record in public service. He is the past Dean of Law at the University of Victoria and the former Attorney General for the province of British Columbia. So we are in very good hands. Under President Petter's guidance, Simon Fraser University will continue to change, adapt, and provide the leadership to deal with the social, economic, environmental challenges of the future. Since it was founded in 1965, Simon Fraser has built a reputation that attracts the brightest and the best in the arts, applied and health sciences, business, technology, and education, largely through its willingness to embrace innovation and change as an essential ingredient for progress. It was Charles Darwin who said, "It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change." Well, we're not finished changing, and we are not finished. The future offers new frontiers to be explored. These new beginnings means new choices, choices to help navigate and shape the future we build. I am sure you will have no shortage of advice as you make the choices about your future, including the advice I will offer you today. I encourage you to think about what you've achieved and what you will still accomplish, about what you have become and who you will be, about what you have contributed and what you still have to give, and the choices you make that will help to forge your own unique path. Excellence can be founded both on the global stage, in the public spotlight, and in the day-to-day interaction in homes and communities. It can flourish through science, arts, sports, education, and community service. It can benefit millions or just a few. Over the years, I have come to recognize that while excellence can take many forms, there is one thing that is almost always common to all those who achieve it, and that is a passion, unbridled connection to the path they have chosen. So my first piece of advice is to pursue what you are passionate about. You have a greater chance of being great at what you do if you love what you do. Herman Cain said, "Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful." But it is not only about loving what you do, it's also about being proud of how you get it done. So my second piece of advice is if you stay true to your own personal values and convictions and use them as a filter through which all of your important choices must pass, the choices you make will be the right ones for the path you should follow. And the third piece of advice comes from that old saying that you are only as good as the company you keep. Or again, as Benjamin Franklin put it, if you lie down with dogs, you will wake up with fleas. So choose who you journey with wisely. Often you will find a successful journey depends more on who you choose to accompany you rather than where you ultimately go. The good news is that you have already made some very good choices about the company you keep. As graduates of Simon Fraser University, you are joining a global community of over 100,000 alumni who are dynamic people doing amazing things in the world. Our alumni have earned worldwide recognition for pioneering new frontiers, working to find balance and stability in shifting economies, battling climate change, and spearheading innovation to deal with global health issues. As you start out on your journey, you take with you the excellence of the strong, proud reputation of Simon Fraser University as part of your academic credentials. Your challenge and mandate is to make a contribution that builds this strong alumni legacy. Improving on excellence may seem a daunting, even impossible endeavor, both for our graduates who follow in the footsteps of our outstanding alumni community, and for President Petter, who takes on the leadership challenges of maintaining and growing our university's strong and proud heritage. But nothing in life achieving comes easily. Success, true meaningful success, is most gratifying when the challenge at first seems insurmountable, but through perseverance, sheer will, and against all odds, obstacles are overcome and the impossible is achieved. This is the success for which your education here at Simon Fraser has prepared you, and this is the success I wish for all of you today. Thank you and congratulations. I now call upon the president of our university, Professor Andrew Petter.
Mr. Chancellor, members of the Board of Governors and the Senate, faculty members, honored guests, I offer a warm welcome and hearty congratulations to graduates, families, and friends on this wonderful day. This is your day, one that you have earned. It must feel like a superlative triumph, a glorious conclusion. And it is. But I hope you also leave today thinking that this is the most auspicious of beginnings. Education, as W.B. Yeats observed, is not the filling of a pail, it's the lighting of a fire. I see that flame burning brightly in each of your eyes today. It is a fire that will sustain you in the years ahead. I was reminded of the power of that fire this past summer when Maureen and I were packing to move to our new home on Burnaby Mountain. As I was leafing through some files, I found this scrap of paper that my mother had sent me in the late 90s when I was Minister of Advanced Education. On it was another quotation, this one from Nelson Mandela, and it read, "Education is the great engine of personal development. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that the son of a mine worker can become the head of a mine, that the child of a farm worker can become president of a great nation. It is what we make out of what we have, not what we are given, that separates one person from another." Sadly, my mother is no longer with us. Yet this scrap of paper brought home to me how much she remains with me. She was a huge believer in education. She and my father not only implanted in me the value of universities, they also supported me at every stage of my educational journeys. And here she still was, as I prepared to embark upon another educational adventure, ready to provide me some wisdom that has lost nothing in the passage of time. In a message beneath Mandela's quote, penned in my mother's distinctive script, is written, "I found this as I was cleaning up. I thought you might want to use it when you need more funds in your ministry." I don't recall whether it worked at the time. Treasury Board then as now tends to be unmoved by such appeals. Yet there are two wonderful lessons to be learned from this little piece of paper. One is that we should stop once in a while to thank our mothers and our fathers and our uncles and our aunts and our spouses and all of those people who believed in us and helped us to get where we are. There are many such people at this convocation today, fair bursting with pride at your accomplishments. Well, you should be proud of them too. You stand on their shoulders, and you should always remember them as you admire the view. The other lesson from my mother's note is the one she intended at the time, that education, more than any other force, has the capacity to lift the human condition, to improve any individual, and to advance every organization. Education prepares us to make a better job of our own lives and to enrich the lives of others. In building our own capacity, we become better able to improve our workplace, our neighborhood, our community, indeed the whole world. That, beginning today, is your challenge. Having lit and stoked Yates' fire, we now send you to take up Mandela's challenge of medicine or business or perhaps even of leading a great nation in a bold and better direction. But I also want to make clear that we are not saying goodbye. On the contrary, in today's world, you are likely to experience numerous changes throughout your working lives that require new knowledge and skills. When those occasions arise, I want Simon Fraser University to be there for you. I want you to count on SFU as your education provider, your ongoing guide, your lifelong partner in learning. I also hope you understand that just as you will continue to need us, we will continue to need you. I have long admired SFU for being a student-centered, research-driven, and community-engaged university. As we strive to build on that record, your energy, your ideas will be more valuable and important to us than ever. I ask you to stay involved, to help fashion our future, and to deepen and strengthen our community ties. Beyond this, we should never forget that the purpose of education is to expand our ability to help others, to contribute to the construction of a healthier, stronger, and more just society. Each of you has the capacity to make such a contribution. You have the gifts of your birth, the support of the people who brought you to this day, and now you have a level of education that is available only to the luckiest people on earth. So let us resolve together from this time and place to join in a common commitment, not only to better ourselves, but also to strive each day to build a better world for all. In doing so, we might be guided by Mahatma Gandhi's credo: live as if you were to die tomorrow, learn as if you were to live forever. Once again, congratulations to you all. It is with pleasure that I now call on Dr. Mark Winston for his convocation address. Mark Winston has had a distinguished career researching, teaching, writing, and commenting on bees and agriculture, environmental issues, and science policy. More recently, he has utilized dialogue in classrooms and community settings to thoughtfully engage students and public audiences with controversial ideas. His research, communication, and dialogue achievements have been recognized by many awards, including the Manning Award for Innovation, BC Gold Medal in Science and Engineering, a prestigious Killam Fellowship from the Canada Council, and election as a Fellow in the Royal Society of Canada. He currently is Academic Director of Simon Fraser University's Morris J. Wask Center for Dialogue and a Professor of Biological Sciences. Professor Winston.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, graduands, and honored guests, what a thrill it is for me to be here with you today, a day that reminds me of my daughter's graduation from McGill University 4 years ago. What a moment that was for me when Devora walked across the stage and received her degree. I was bursting with pride for her accomplishments and hope that she would continue growing into the full realization of the person she was capable of becoming. In a few moments, you graduands will walk across this stage, family and friends similarly proud of what you've accomplished and encouraging you to become all that you can be. Rather than give you advice, which I'm sure you've heard plenty of, I'd like to share with you two other moments, one in my daughter's life and the other in mine, both moments whose intensity and impact only became apparent many years later. Devora was a third-year political science major when I visited Montreal as a mentor with the Action Canada program, a leadership development program for outstanding young Canadians in their mid-20s and 30s. We were there to learn about public policy issues in Quebec. We'd worked hard, and the participants were ready for a night off. We asked Devora to be our nightlife guide. Perfect choice. Devora took us to the Peel Pub Dirty Bar, which as far as I could tell means a bar with questionable hygiene but very cheap beer. That night she spent quite some time talking with Roxane Joyal, a woman in the Action Canada program who had co-founded a nonprofit called Free the Children with Craig and Mark Kielberger. It's a wonderful organization that began with concerns about child labor overseas and has grown to take positive action through building schools, supporting clean water projects, and many other activities. Devora was never a kid who seemed destined to take on saving the world, so I was surprised a year or so later when, about to graduate, she remembered that pub conversation, contacted Roxane, and ended up working for Free the Children, first as an intern, and now a few years later as a director of their youth programs. She's one of the organizers for We Day, which is about to hit Vancouver next week, when 16,000 screaming teenagers will crowd into Rogers Arena, inspired to make a difference in the world around them by speakers like the Dalai Lama, Al Gore, Jane Goodall, and musicians like Jason Mraz, Sarah McLachlan, Justin Bieber, and Headley. My daughter had done reasonably well in university, but there was still a gap between who she was and who she could be. That critical step out of her comfort zone into the realm of challenge and possibility. Her conversation with Roxane, unknown to her, had planted a seed, inspired a desire to stretch higher and achieve more than she might have otherwise. That night in the Peel Pub was her moment when everything changed. I too had a moment, although it has taken me much of a lifetime to look back and see it for what it was. I was a poor student in university. In fact, I've yet to find a professor who achieved a lower grade point average than I did. How I emerged from that academic lethargy is a story in itself, but I want to jump ahead to 1976, when I found myself heading to South America to study killer bees. I had no experience with bees and no idea what to expect. I had flown from North to South America the day before, a grueling set of flights that left me disoriented. I entered the apiary fully protected from what I thought would be an onslaught of wrathful bees, wearing a layer of clothes and a bee suit, veil, and gloves, kind of like the layers I'm wearing today, but more bee-like. I removed the lid of the first hive. The bees were unexpectedly calm, and I began paying attention to what was going on in the beehive as my fear dissipated. The gloves came off, then the veil. I pulled the frames out one by one to inspect the combs. It was my moment when everything shifted. It's a full-body experience being among the bees. You first notice the sounds, a low hum from tens of thousands of bees flying in and out of their hives, each circling the apiary to get her bearings, and then heading off purposely in a beeline towards blooming flowers. Smells and textures bombard the senses, the sweet odors and feel of honey and beeswax. Underlying the physical senses are collaboration and order, communication and common purpose, each bee submerging her individual nature for the colony. I spent a good part of my life in apiaries, and bees have never failed to engage my senses and focus my attention. These are places where I learned powerful lessons, messages about how we humans can better understand our place in nature, engage the people and events surrounding us with greater focus and clarity, interact more intensely in our relationships and communities, and open our hearts and minds to a deeper understanding of who we are as individuals, communities, and as species. That first moment, cracking a hive cover in the South American jungles, and Devora's conversation in the Peel Pub shifted everything for us. Although at the time, neither of us realized just how deeply our lives were about to change. We both had found something that inspired us to engage with the most profound challenge life offers, to grow most fully into who we can be in the world. I'll leave you with the hope that each of you will have your own moment, one that excites you to achieve more than you thought you could, encourages you to engage with the world around you in a bigger way than you had ever imagined, and stimulates you to become, well, yourself. I spent my high school years as a very deep nerd, pretty much dateless, driving around on Saturday nights with my nerdy guy friends, listening to country music on the radio from the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee. I've had a soft spot for country music ever since, and I'd like to conclude with a line from a song by Leanne Womack that's all about seizing those moments in our lives, the moments that I hope you seize in yours. When you get the chance to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. Graduands and guests, when your moment comes and you have the choice, I hope you choose to dance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Winston. Ladies and gentlemen, as part of the ceremony, the Alumni Association will present a Simon Fraser University alumni pin to the graduates as they leave the stage. Our alumni are very important to us, and we are pleased that this symbolic presentation will launch them on their new role as alumni of Simon Fraser University. Mr. Greg Taylor is a board member of the SFU Alumni Association. He graduated from SFU in 2003 with a degree in biochemistry, and he currently works at the BC Cancer Agency's Genome Sciences Centre. I invite Greg Taylor to the lectern to bring greetings to the graduates.
On behalf of the Alumni Association, it is my privilege and pleasure to congratulate you all on your graduation. Today, as you begin your lives as members of the alumni community, you join over 110,000 SFU graduates worldwide. As you cross the stage, I will be presenting you with an alumni pin. I encourage you to wear it proudly as a symbol of your achievement and your alumni status. Wherever life takes you in the future, we hope that you will keep SFU spirit alive and well, and that you will stay connected with your alma mater and fellow alumni.
Thank you, Greg. Before the graduands are presented individually to the Chancellor, Sue Dritt-Manis, a member of the graduating class, will address Convocation. Sue studied journalism at Carleton University and pursued a successful career as a magazine writer and editor for 20 years. Her work has appeared in Chatelaine, Canadian Living, BC Business, Vancouver, and Western Living magazines, among other titles. In 2006, she helped develop the magazine publishing program at Capilano University, where she is now a full-time writing and communications instructor. Ms. Dritt-Manis will be graduating with a master's degree in education. I'm now pleased to call upon Sue Dritt-Manis. Sue. I'll get this out of your way.
Thank you very much. Chancellor Louis, President Petter, faculty, staff, distinguished guests, and most of all, my fellow graduates, most of whom I think are right over there. I'm honored to be standing here today, and I want to assure my Master of Education Curriculum and Instruction cohort, Surrey campus, that I don't have any Play-Doh, pipe cleaners, or paper boats under my gown. This will be a short oral presentation, no props, I promise. We science and education graduates are a fortunate group. Most of us sit here knowing what a huge debt of gratitude we owe to the people who helped us reach this day. People like our parents and family members who fed, housed, and put up with us, and perhaps even paid our tuition. You know who you are. My 90-year-old Latvian emigre mother-in-law financed almost my entire graduate degree. Paldies, Mama. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Thank you, John, Allison, and Christopher. Paldies. We should also thank our fellow classmates, the people we Skyped, emailed, text messaged, in the middle of the night when assignments were due or exams were about to be written. The support I witnessed in my own small but diverse group of students was truly extraordinary. Over 2 years of very intense study, our cohort of mature students weathered some profound personal losses, but we nevertheless met the learning outcomes with style, grace, humor, and a lot of coffee. Today, we also thank the professors, the TAs, the lab techs, the staff, whose timely and encouraging feedback on our work gave us the will to move forward and to exceed our own expectations. Coming back to school as a mature student was a big leap into the unknown. As an undergrad, I spent hours thumbing through card catalogs at the UBC library looking up references, and here in the fantastic SFU library, we could look that stuff up online. It was absolutely amazing. Decades ago, I wrote my assignments, seriously, in longhand on foolscap paper. Here, I typed them on a laptop, and I submitted them via email. It was all very thrillingly efficient in 21st century. But I realized that some things in post-secondary education have not changed. It is still embarrassing to be called upon in class to ask a question if you haven't done the reading. Textbooks are expensive. Parking is outrageous. Sometimes when faculty say they're going to the library, they're actually going to the pub. Sometimes you learn more in the pub than in the library. In one profound way, I hope my student experience echoes all of your experiences. I came here to learn something, and the more curious I was, the more I learned. So what matters today is not merely the academic credential we're now entitled to put after our names, but the names that we make for ourselves as fully engaged members of society. We must take the critical thinking skills our SFU degrees have provided, take all our scientific and educational concepts, take our ability to test assumptions and challenge the status quo, take all the gifts we were given here and use them to make a difference in our communities. A lot of people will compliment us today. Enjoy it. We deserve the attention. Today, we proudly wear our graduation caps. But tomorrow, and for the rest of our lives, let's wear our thinking caps. Let's stay curious, become lifelong learners, keep asking the tough questions. Good luck, and congratulations to us all.
Great, Sue. Thank you, Sue. The members of the graduating class will now be presented to the Chancellor to be admitted en masse to their degrees. Will the graduands please rise? What a good-looking group. Mr. Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University and request that you confer upon each one the degree for which he or she is now recommended.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees. Will the graduands please be seated?
The members of the graduating class will now be presented individually to the Chancellor. But first, a few requests. Would you please refrain from applauding the individual members of the graduating class until each group of delegates has been conferred? This is in the interests of time. Of course, we cannot stifle spontaneous displays of enthusiasm. As a courtesy to others, please remain seated until the conclusion of the ceremony, and I would ask the graduates to please return to your seats following the receipt of your degrees. The degrees in the Faculty of Education and the Faculty of Science will now be conferred. Mr. Chancellor, The Associate Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. George Agnes, will announce the names of the candidates for graduate degrees and diplomas.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Education. The candidates will be hooded by Dr. Chris Magnuson, Dean of the Faculty of Education. Dr. Asghari Mahboob. Dr. Mahboob was supervised in her graduate training by Dr. Charles Bingham in the Faculty of Education. Go ahead. Jillian Code. Dr. Code was supervised by Dr. John Nesbitt in the Faculty of Education. Carrie Hanscom. Dr. Hanscom's graduate supervision was mentored by Dr. Stephen Campbell in the Faculty of Education. Mark Waller. Dr. Eiler was supervised by Dr. Kevin O'Neill in the Faculty of Education. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Education in the Faculty of Education. The candidates will be hooded by Dr. Chris Magnuson, Dean of the Faculty of Education. Robert Colin Fleming. Dr. Fleming was supervised by Dr. Peter Grimmett in the Faculty of Education. Gail Lynn Joe. Dr. Joe was supervised by Dr. Jeffrey Maddock Jones in the Faculty of Education. Shona Johansson. Dr. Johansson was supervised by Dr. Sharon Balin in the Faculty of Education. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Science. The candidates will be hooded by Dr. Claire Couples, Dean of the Faculty of Science. Wendell Hutama. Dr. Hutama was supervised by Dr. David Brown in the Department of Physics, Faculty of Science. Matthew McCauley. Dr. McCauley was supervised by Dr. David Vocadlo, Department of Chemistry, Faculty of Science. Hee-sung Shin. Dr. Shin was supervised by Dr. David Bailey in the Department of Molecular Biology and Biochemistry, Faculty of Science. Matthew Sturzenegger. Dr. Sturzenegger was supervised by Dr. Douglas Steed, Department of Earth Science, Faculty of Science. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in the Faculty of Education. Kiran Bizra. Amarjit Griwal. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the candidates for the degree of Master of Education in the Faculty of Education. David Brian Aber. Christine Lee Abbott. Laura Archer. Navdeep Ajla. Alana Babwa. Jennifer Beal. Karen Beatty. Brenda Eileen Becker. Denise Beerwald. Cheryl Bennett. Maria Bishop. Lori Bluen. Megan Brader. Laureen Brain. Victor Brar. Shelley Brett. Gina Buchanan. Bradley George Chase. Colin Chan. Jillian Chisholm. Carla Clapton. Dina Coburn. Guthrie Cox. Sandra Crawford. Kimberly Davison Kylo. Surjit Dillon. Jana Dick. Kevin Dranchuk. Susan Dritmanis. Martin Dugan. Christina Eftanaro. Lynn Marie Evaneshan. Bronwyn Fackler. Susie Findlay. Robert Finlayson. Iveta Finson Vasilova. Ashley Freeborn. Jonathan Friedrichs. Sumandip Guania. Tanya Jean Gatrell. Martha Gurrow. Ruby Gita. Sandeep Gill. James Gordon. Stephanie Greaves. Ray Green. Joanne Wilkes Gregory. Cam Grewal. Karen Grigor. Tandy Lee Gunn. Jia Yuan Guo. Peter Hawk. Jonathan Harris. Kylene Heggie. Elizabeth Hilliard. Gil Hilzebuck. Heather Rose Howard. Julia Howard. Barbara Irwin. Deborah Snittlewet Jacobs. Karen Yager. Alan Ju. Catherine Kelly. Hoon Kim. Logan Kitteringham. Kristen Kozubak. Rhonda Crisco. Faisal Leher. Thank you. Shannon Lang. Christopher Lapointe. Heather Lieberman. Cindy Lister. Denise Little. Jeremy Linden. Susan McGuire. Kathy Mannix. Peter Martin. Adele Martinek. Carol Mason. Michael Matza. Sean William McGovern. Marcia McInnes. Hannelore Miskimen. Michael Maloney. Gregory Monroe. Angela Mudge. Artie Naidu. Amber Lynn Norris. Russell Oy. Anoop Palmer. Benjamin Paré. Tina Patterson. Nishan Pereira. Lisa Ann Pitt. Martin Pacherko. Patricia Anna Polubinski. Tamara Eden Pongratz. Stephen Price. Mila Pulan. Jennifer Quigley. Bobby Riley. Catherine Rice. Linda Riches. Ian Robertson. Darlene Ross. Manik Rurakumar. Barbara Salingra. Mariska Santoso. Alana Sawatsky. Amanda Schmieteketnop.
That's the way she said.
Rachel Sebastian. Kaylee Seward. Shannon Shields. Q Min Lee Sigerson. Leanne Symington. Melanie Skellen. Bradley Smith. Christopher Smith. Jennifer Smith. Alan Soyseth. Mark Henry Merlin Stiles. Kimberly Swanson. Michael Teterin. How do you... Andrea Louise Thibodeau. Sotevi Toy. James Tiggelar. Catherine Trepanier. Lisa Turnbull. Lorraine Van Dyke. Olga Vancic. Kavol Varpol. Sally Vinden. Nadine Vonk. Patrick Russell Wadge. Tony Weber. Maria Stella Weisgarber. Jessica Wellington. Mary Wilton. Grace Wynn. Lucia Zemp. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the candidate for the degree of Master of Science in the Faculty of Education. Daniel Kemen. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in the Faculty of Science. Maha Al-Riyami. Nazanin Azrahimi. Brenda Davison. Iris Gutowski. Adam Hessler. Hurt G. Julia Heinonen. Harjinder Kaur. Sonoko Nakano. Marilis Rivas. Barbara Saunders. Saba Seifi. Maria Volknukin. Mr. Chancellor, I am pleased to present the students who have completed the requirements for a graduate diploma in the Faculty of Education. Andrea Harmon. Ryan Harmon. Bonnie Ishii. Andrew McFadden. Christopher Wignall.
Mr. Chancellor, the Dean of Education, Dr. Chris Magnuson, will announce the names of the candidates for undergraduate degrees and diplomas in his faculty.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Education in the Faculty of Education. Abdelhalim Ali Uhuamu. Elizabeth Alou. Michael Anaka. Mireille Appleby. Nicole Arondas. Sheila Balakshan. Michael Barnes. Michelle Ravina Basra. Kristen Batala. Raymond Becker. Gurinder Bedwal. Sherry Bell. Heidi Bevelyn Dalzell. Samantha Blair Dykens. Kyla Boyer. Kulwinder Brar. Gurchanan Bring. Taslim Berkowitz. Courtney Burnett. Michael Bilsma. Lindsay Caldwell. Nellie Callow. Bree Karen. Darcy Carroll. Kayla Cave. Laura Chelly. Marcy Chadwick. Vince Chan. Eddie Chow. Nilu Chima. Bruno Chu. Bronwyn Churcher. Nicole Curtis. Stephanie David. Fiducia May Del Ponzo. Jessica Dempster. Gurpreet Dhaliwal. Kathleen Dowling. Krista Dragan. Tran Du. Alicia Dubland. Lisa K. Dugato. Tanya Disti. Carly Edmonds. Lindsay Eishorn. Sarah Aliako, Lacey Irwin, Sarah Iwanchuk, Jessica Faletta, Megan Fisher Fleming, Lisa Forchak, Thomas Fox, Carla Friesen, Megan Gager, Jacqueline Gaspar, Mirella Gastaldo, Christina Gaucher, Mandy Gelderman, Sonia Gentil, Maggie Georgie Embry, Tina Geyer, Amy Gill, Harleen Gill, Sasha Gill, Kez Glogue, Jennifer Goodman, Todd Goodman, Shannon Handel, Nathan Hapke, Karen Harris, Aaron Hart, Carly Herman, Courtney Higginson, Jennifer Hilson, Marianne Honeywell, Jamie Huseman, Anna Jastrzewski, Carolyn Jennings, Robin Kalbfleisch, Sarah Kim, Caitlin Knox, Matthew Corbett, Rebecca Costamo, Richard Kristen, Amy Kumpula, Maxwell Lamb, Kelly Langford, Melissa Lee, Michael Lee, Richard Lee, Nicole Durant, Robin Lloyd, Mona Loshan, Dominique Luca, Cheryl Luke, Christian McInnes, Chelsea McKenzie, Catherine McLeod, Jessica Mackey, Kameli Mark, Russell Mayert, Lindsay McCaig, Dana Miller, Sherry Moore, Delia Murray, Kira Murray, Annie Ohana, Patricia Olesiak, Christy Olson, Elsa Osis, Carly Milin, Alexander Otsuki, Christopher Page, Joanna Pastoric, Kelsey Peacock, Caleb Penner, Jennifer Pettigrew, Greg Plekonoris, Karen Pruhl, Natasha Perba, Rena Rama, Aaron Reagan, Clayton Richardson, Brianne Ryu, Joey Ritchie, Chloe Rittinger, Christopher Roberts, Cole Ruteschauer, Karen Santu, Tina Sangra, Kristen Sheeter, Deborah Sidney, Stacy Smallwood. Kelly Smetis. Deanna Smith. Kelly Smith. Christine Sullivan. Christy Sumka. Kevin Tao. Caitlin Thurarenson. Kuljit Tiwana. Teresa To. Chin Tran. Kristen Truman. Kathy Jo Tucker. Kim Tulloch. John Turner. Chanel Tai. Allison Z. Darren Ursuluk. Veronique Vachon. Kristen Van Acker. Laureen Vischer. Alicia Waller. Kevin Walsmith. Shannon Ward. Teresa Wells. Teal Whitrow. Timothy Weeb. Brenda Wong. Juliana Wong. Lori Wong. Ramona Zamani. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of General Studies in the Faculty of Education. Janet Kim Alti. Tanya Sagu. Balraj Virdi. Mr. Chancellor, I am pleased to present the students who have completed the requirements for diplomas in the Faculty of Education. Janice Ashton. Carla Brancati. Peter John Charles Francis. Cherry Lamb. Jenny Lynn Simpson.
Mr. Chancellor, the Dean of Science, Dr. Claire Couples, will announce the names of the candidates for undergraduate degrees and certificates in her faculty.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honour of presenting the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in the Faculty of Science. Charlotte Adamson. Scott Alexander. Nilufar Aslaminejad. Andrew Balburney. Amber Balzer Stewart Lundgren. John Bergen. Pierre Nicolas Boyer. Vika Budijanto. Lini Kane. Arshdeep Atwal. Matthew Casola. Brian Chan. Julia Chang. Rebecca Chi. Alice Chen. Ying Ying Chen. Kara Chiang. Kai-Yip Chiang. Tingshin Chiang. Tianyi Chi, Stephen Chiang, Sammy Chiu, Lambert Chow, Ryan Coughlin, Ashley Collins, Stephen Cornick, Sean Cotsworth, Vasha Dashlali, Gagandeep Dat, Blaine Diggins, Daniel Evans, Alexander Filiposki, Karen Forsman, Hans Go, Barbie Hebron, June Hong, Chris Wang, Kelsey Hutchison, Caesar Indusil, Maya Ivkovic, Shoko Kawakami, Shohui Ki, Donald Lai, Aaron Lee, Julia Lee, Martin Lee, Yanhua Kelly Lee, Moses Lai, Nancy Liang, Haley Mitchell, Simran Monder, Edie Nayer, Elise Neufeld, Shivanti Nugawela, Serena Patel, Sasha Pilfold, Podvisaki, Oliver Podvisaki, Sunshine Purificación, Hijab Kazair, Elna Kwan, Nikel Raskalaksina, Julia Rodriguez, Hasti Sabagan, Hajot Kaur Sangra, Jordan Shu, Mohammed Sharifdin, Katrina Smythe, Yasaman Sotu Dian, Brittany Swanson, Claire Tan, Wendy Tan, Wenju Tang, Lily Tang, Simon Walker, Ada Yazdanpana, Bei Fang, Howard Hu, Gregory Keeler, Sung Hwan Lee, Stephanie Lenoir, Zai Kai Lu, Stephen MacArthur, Matthew Michaleski, Gladys Myra, Simon Muradian, Sasha Ozeroff, Andrew Posnikoff, Ben Pugh, Zhou Qi, Brian Quach, Katerina Ramojita, Alana Slater, Atta Syed, Sapana Thakur, Mark Tim, Jimmy Tung, Huijing Wang, Peter Winkham, Nicholas Westergaard, Gary Wong, Tiffany Wong, Rosanna Yusuf. Jarrett Zavit. Mr. Chancellor, I'm pleased to present the student who has completed the requirements for a certificate in the Faculty of Science. Brenda Livingston.
Will the graduating class please rise? I congratulate each of you on the completion of your degree. This is truly an impressive achievement, and I ask your friends and family to join me in applauding the amazing graduating class of October 2010. And now, in recognition of how you got here, I invite the members of the graduating class to reciprocate by applauding the amazing family, friends, faculty, and staff, all of whom helped you reach your goal. Please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, this completes the formal awarding of degrees. Some candidates recommended by the Senate for degrees today are unable to be present, and therefore their names have not been read out. I now admit them to the appropriate degrees as shown on the program. Before we adjourn today, I have several thank yous. First of all, for all of you for coming up on the Hill on a not too bad fall day. It's not raining. Also to our many volunteer staff, faculty members, which was coordinated by Student Services and Ceremonies and event offices who have worked very hard to run a very smooth Convocation day. And also to the members of our 6-time world champion Simon Fraser University Pipe Band Organization for their very special contribution to Convocation. They will perform after the ceremony in Freedom Square behind the platform. This now brings a close to the formal part of this afternoon's Convocation. So I ask you please to rise and remain standing at your places until the platform party has recessed.